Hello?
We need to talk.
We need to talk.
We need to talk. We need to talk.
We need to talk.
Welcome back to Wntt. I'm your host, MR.KOA, alongside
Tallboy.
And we got another guest today. What are your New Year resolutions, my friend, Mr.
Off
Royston?
My New Year's resolution?
Off rip. What you doing?
I want to start being a little bit more punctual, and I think you guys can attest to that. Because I came in about 10 minutes late, but you know.
Why is that? Exactly.
I'm so tardy. I don't know why. You know what it is? I'm always awake at the right time. Like I'm definitely allotting my time correctly, and then I think, oh, I got time. And then I'll ease back, and then I'm like, yo, I don't have time anymore. I ease back for too long, and then I end up being late. That's really all it is. Like, I was up at an early enough time. I messaged him, like, yo, I got the address. I put it into my GPS. I'm like, okay. Takes about 30 minutes to get there. And then it's showing me, like, the estimated time to get there, and I'm just chilling. Like, I'll probably watch, like, a video. I'm like, okay, like, I'll go when this finishes.
So are you one of those people that look at the clock and you're like, if I leave at this time, I'll make it there a minute before? So technically I'm on time.
No, I don't plan to be ahead of time. I plan to be on time, but
like
then,
right on time.
So then I don't give myself any wiggle room. And
if anything,
more time
like if
not,
traffic comes up, you're like,
I'm screwed. 100%.
I'm playing for this.
So are you typically late for work or just late for events?
100%. And that's why I'm at a job where like my lateness isn't that crucial, and I can put in my hours myself. There's no swipe clock or anything like that.
What is your job?
I work at Enterprise.
Yeah.
So you kind of come in like
I just stroll in
when you feel.
Yeah, and like I'm good at like getting there and just starting work. And like, oh, like I was here.
Do you have like seniority?
I do.
Do you have like seniority where it's like, Royston will be here.
Yeah, exactly. Like they know I'm going to be there. It's just, you know, I'll be there like 12:08 or 12:08. Yeah, you know.
All right, well, let the people know who you are first.
Royston, I've been here, like, this is my third time, no?
Yes.
Third time's a charm.
Yeah.
Okay,
Third time's
first time on the
show.
set though.
Yeah.
Who's Fly TV. Honestly, you can look it up yourselves, but yeah, Royston.
What is Who's Fly TV?
Honestly, it's my YouTube channel.
Right.
I had it up for a couple of years, but I've been starting to take it more seriously now.
Yeah.
Just because why?
Why now?
I feel like it's, you know, when you look back on something, you're like, yo, if I took this seriously back then, like it could be something a lot bigger than what it is right now. And I think I just had that like epiphany where I'm just like, yo, I've been sitting on this and it could easily be something. People tell me all the time, like, yo, you should take this seriously.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, like I'll get to it. And I kind of want to get to it now. So I'm definitely ready to.
Do you think anything has to do with it with seeing other people? Because I've asked this question before, different avenues, but like I feel like a lot of moments people or epiphanies people have is because they see people for as literally as raw as it sounds, not as skilled as them, doing much better than they can, and they're like, just because they did it, right? You're like, the worst thing a creative person can say is, I could have done that.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want to hear that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, then do it. Like, but it's so easy to be like, you know, I'm funnier than that guy, or I'm smarter than that guy, or I'm more skilled than that guy, but he's doing it.
Yeah.
So, do you have a moment where you're like, whether you saw a group of people or somebody doing something, you're like, why aren't I doing this? Or like, you're watching something, you're like, I had this idea, or like I did, like, did that happen a couple times or many times?
It happens repeatedly.
Right.
It happens all the time. And like I don't think I'm cocky or anything like that.
No.
I'm confident, and I'm also very self-aware. And I feel like, yo, like I could do this, or I could do this better, or I could, like, you know what I mean? Like I'm very like aware.
But you weren't.
Exactly. And I was like, I just was either lazy or I just didn't apply myself. And I'm like, you kind of kick yourself for it, but like I'm like, yo, it's not too late, so I might as well do it and show that I can do it. And the thing is too, like other people tell me like, you should be doing this. Right. You know what I mean? I'm like, you're right. I have no excuse. So kind of want to just put the excuses aside and just.
So how did the name Who's Fly come? What is that? What is Who's Fly?
Long story short, in high school, my last name is Simon, and I was like posting a whole lot of stuff, like just stuff that I probably wouldn't want my family to see, and my family would add me on Facebook, and I didn't want them to see some of the things that I was posting, so I had to change my last name. So I just made like Royston's Fly, like, but I made it like SFLYY, so it's like a sentence.
Oh, okay.
And then when I brought it to her, like, who's this guy? So I was like, oh, Who's Fly? I don't know. So, but that's really all it is. I just made like a fake last name just so that I couldn't be searched by my family on Facebook.
Okay.
But I feel like now, like do you still hide stuff from your family on social?
I don't think I can anymore.
Yeah.
Like even like on the weekend, like my girlfriend's family was like, "Oh, I saw you on Six Buzz," and I was like, Like even
what?
It's not, you didn't see it on my page, but like it's there for someone else to see via another.
Oh, the parking ticket thing?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I was so cheesed when I saw that. I'm like, how are they gonna dime my guy out like that?
Bro,
Actually,
they
what happened?
tagged Toronto Parking Authority.
I saw that.
Like,
What happened? I should know what happened.
I took a ticket off someone else's car. I took a ticket off of someone else's car, a parking ticket off someone else's car. I didn't want to pay for parking because I wasn't going to be there for long. So I took
the old trick.
Yeah,
the old trick.
exactly.
Put a ticket on your car.
And it wasn't anything new or innovative. I did what I've been doing for a while.
You recorded it though? You recorded it though?
Put it on my story, yeah.
Okay.
But my story for my followers, and then 6buzz screen recorded it, put it on their page, and
Post on their page.
yeah, and they tagged Toronto Parking Authority. I'm like, I messaged them like, why would you tag Toronto Authority?
That's wild.
They're like, oh, they don't see it. I'm like, yes, they do.
Yes, they do. They see everything.
Yeah, like what? I'm like, all right, whatever, man. But
Did you get flagged for it?
no,
Okay.
I mean, it's just hearsay. So
Yeah.
like, moments like that when you're at a family dinner and it's just like, I saw you.
So some quick background. Royston's not my brother.
I didn't want to say
So that happened somehow. No, that's not. I mean, I like Royston.
Cool.
So my parents, or my father married another woman, which is beautiful, amazing woman. She has a daughter. Her daughter is Royston's girlfriend, and now we are.
Now you're my stepbrother-in-law.
My stepbrother. So he's at my dinners, he's at my lunches, he's everywhere. But we had a little talk. It was cool.
Had a little talk.
Oh, we had a little talk.
You want to tell that story?
Yeah, a little talk.
Yo, I remember.
Dated my sister.
I was gonna bring this up because I don't know the story. But I remember this guy was just like, he's like, I don't know how it came up, but he's like, yo, Royce dating my sister. And he's like, gonna have to talk with him. And I was like, what? I'm like, excuse me? Like, how long? Okay, so how long was your dad with your stepmom, but like you knew your sister before Royce?
Yeah, did you know her before that came about? I don't even know
before you guys started?
No, like, did you know Dominique before your father and her mom got together? Or did you meet through that?
No, I didn't know her. I think
you met her through.
I think they're like, I think she might have been following me. Maybe, I don't know the timelines of it, but I didn't know her like that. It was like, I think she was like, oh, this is my mom. I was like, oh, okay, put the pieces together. But I think she was already following me before she found out like that was my actual dad. Then I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
But then how much time was it between like you're like, okay, now you're my stepsister, and then Royston and Dominique started dating?
So I think it was a good amount of time.
It was a while. I didn't even know because she wasn't with somebody for a bit when I first met her, and then she was still in Ottawa for a little bit, and then I only found out they were together because he was at my dad's birthday party. Like,
hold up, but like you didn't know that was.
He knew.
He knew.
I didn't know.
He knew.
Okay,
what is he gonna say to me though?
Yeah, like be in my shoes, like, okay, I message Ryan randomly on a Tuesday afternoon, like, hey man, I'm dating your stepsister. Like,
So it was
in the DM. Like,
so it's better to just show up and just you're like hail up Ryan like it's nothing.
When I showed up, dog, I was so lost. You're like, I got to my dad's house. I got to my dad's house on my dad's birthday. So as a normal birthday would be, I get there, I say hi to everybody, whatever. And I see him there, I'm like, hey, Royston. I'm like, he's like,
You hailed the man up.
Yeah,
you're like,
I hailed him, but I was like,
hit him right away.
I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, well, why are you here? And I saw I saw her, it's like, I'm like, why are you in my house?
and I was just like, hey man.
Like, I'm like, I know I see you, but
why are you here? Why are you in my crib?
Your dad's birthday.
At my dad's birthday. I'm like, how do you know my dad? Like, I just did nothing made sense.
Oh, so you had fully met his dad?
Yeah, I had
like
he's been over there, but I didn't know. I'm like, why are you here? Like, it's cool to see you, but what the hell? Like, So then I pulled him over. I was like, okay, cool. But no, I knew Royston before that, all that. So like, out of anything, I was like, you know what? At least it's him. You know what I mean? Like,
at least he's not a dog.
Yeah, like
just saying, like.
No, I'm joking. Royston's great. I've always liked him, but I was glad to know, like, okay, it's someone I know. He's cool. He's dope.
Yeah. You can have the stamp of approval. Like, you
like
don't have to deal with a complete stranger. You know? And
so
wonder, like,
cool,
who is this person?
I have some questions for you guys. No, go ahead.
Before we go on, like, I've always wondered about that because
what?
I think we've talked about on previous shows. It's different because you guys like already knew each other, so everything was cool beforehand. But in all the girls I ever dated, I only dated one, and this was like back in high school, who had
like a brother?
A brother that was younger.
Okay.
I never had to like deal with a girl who had an older brother.
Like the big brother drama?
Yeah, I never had to deal with any of that, right? So whenever I was with a girl who had a younger brother, it was almost like it was almost a scenario where that little brother couldn't say nothing to
Yeah,
me.
you're like,
you know what I mean?
You have to hug it.
You're like, I'm here now.
I'm like, hold this out.
Yeah.
But it's like, have you guys ever been through the older brother drama? Have you ever had that situation?
No, I haven't personally. No.
I've never had. I've had a previous girlfriend who had an older brother, but he wasn't like
But I've
problematic.
never seen, or you've never seen them. Like,
I
they
met
have
him.
brothers.
Yeah,
We were
okay.
cool, but like he was never like, oh, I'm gonna press you kind of thing. Like he was just like, yo, cool. Like my sister is dating so and so.
Like I've had girls that have brothers, but when they're either way older, like with families, it's like, oh, my brother, but he has a family. Like it's not. I'm never bumping him.
Yeah.
Or it's like they have a sibling, but they're not close to them.
True.
I feel like we're at an age now too where like we're all old enough. We're like, I'm not gonna press my little sister.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Like that's maybe like high school times. Like
Yeah.
that'll probably happen. But like me now, like if my younger sibling wants that, I'm not gonna go like, oh, like so what are your intentions? Like, bro, come on now.
That's true. I feel you.
Yeah.
Yeah, what questions you got for us today?
So, what is a realistic Christmas budget? So that's a very specific question. I ask this because I have 6 siblings, and some of you guys may have
That's
siblings,
wild.
some of you guys have cousins, friends, and how far does it expand? Like, who doesn't get gifts?
Oh,
Is it just mom, dad? Is it just mom, dad, brother, sister? Is it mom, dad, brother, sister, cousin? Mom, dad, brother, sister, cousin, boyfriend, girlfriend? Like, who doesn't get gifts? And how do you determine this?
that's a good
And
one.
have you or will you ever go broke for Christmas?
I've definitely gone broke.
I've gone broke for Christmas, and I've
It's so
quickly
dumb.
learned I
It's
don't want to
so
do it.
dumb.
Especially, you know what? This is my second year, like having Christmas, living away from home and renting.
Right.
So, like, there are so many things that happen at the end of every month. Expenses, bills, and I'm just like, yo, I still gotta pay rent at the end of this month. So Christmas time, it's like, where is this money coming from? You know, it's like, where am I making this money? Or is it just how people run up their credit and go broke? So it's just
for
like,
what?
I've gone broke for Christmas. I'm never doing that again.
Yeah.
I just can't.
So who gets gifts? In your
Okay.
mind? You're still gonna get.
Still getting gifts.
Do you get gifts for your family members?
Parents get gifts. My mom and dad get gifts. I'm in a unique situation. So like, my parents get gifts. My second oldest brother, he's a freaking Israelite. So he doesn't even believe it. He's like, Christmas for him.
Israelite.
He's an Israelite. So
Yeah.
he's like, yo, he's like, don't come to me with that. So,
Yeah.
so I'm like, all right, bless.
Yeah.
It's off the list. My oldest brother, he has a family. Right? His wife plus my nephew. So like, my nephew's got to get something. My older brother and his wife, they got to get something. And then my girlfriend.
So when there's couples involved, is it individual gifts or couple gifts?
If me and my girl can do couple gifts, we will. Like if we were like, okay, so prime example for my brother and his family.
Yeah.
That's like a couple gifts thing.
That's like this is for you guys.
Yeah, we'll be like, her and I will come together.
This is for the house.
Yeah, her and I will come together and be like, this is what, you two get, and this is for Kai.
Okay.
Right? But, and maybe for my parents too. Like, because my girl's tight with them, so she'll be like, oh, let's get them this. Right? You have to be economical.
Yeah.
Like when you're dating and trying to get gifts from people, because it's not ideal.
What about you?
Me,
You gone broke for Christmas before?
I have, and I regretted it. Like I feel like you said, you have to be within reason. Like you know, this is what I'm working with. I gotta kind of work within those means.
Yeah.
But me as my mom, my dad, and like usually, I feel like this year more than ever is more so like some people are getting cut out the circle.
Yeah.
But it's this year it'd probably be my mom, my dad, my brother, and my girlfriend. That's pretty much, and my siblings. That's the thing. It's like, it gets tricky because like
It's so tricky with
I
siblings.
have I have my full brother and I have my 2 half siblings.
Oh no, they don't.
So
This guy said
I'm like, what
full
have you
brother.
done for me lately? So
No.
it's kind of like,
What have you done? Yo, how do you have siblings?
my sister is 31 and my brother is 29. So
You know what? Do they drive?
they do.
Get them gas cards.
But what has he done for me lately? I go back to last. What did he get me? Nothing. So this year I will be reciprocating that nothing. My sister got me something else, so I got her like a little Fitbit. This is going after Christmas, right?
Yeah.
I got her a Fitbit, something reasonable, but it's a dap stick for my older brother. Yo, Merry
stick.
Christmas, fam. That's really it.
So have you guys ever had like, it's funny you said like, okay, I never got something from this person. You think there are Christmas grudges?
I definitely hope.
100%.
If there is,
Like-
I'm holding them.
Yeah.
And if there isn't, I'm still holding them.
Like, so if someone doesn't get you a gift of Christmas before, you're like, you don't get one next year.
100%. And that's
Yeah.
exactly what's happening right now. I'm like, bet.
So you don't just do that out of the kindness of your heart. Like be like, you know what, regardless of what you're gonna do, I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna do what I do.
But I feel like if that's the whole purpose of Christmas, then why not do everything out of the
exchange?
It shouldn't even be monetary if that's what we're talking about. Then why should I bring anything? I'm just going to embrace you with love and affection, give you a hug, and call it a day.
Okay.
Christmas, I think Christmas grudges are a real thing. Like, for being honest.
Yeah.
Have you guys had any? Or
Christmas grudges? See, I'm more like, I've stopped getting Christmas gifts for years now. Like, for me. People haven't gotten me gifts for years.
Okay.
Unless I'm dating somebody, they usually get me a gift. But my dad, my mom, I don't know the last time my mom got me a gift, to be honest.
Yeah.
My dad, usually some very cheap and expensive, unthoughtful gift. So
This man use every adjective.
So
Cheap, inexpensive,
unthoughtful. I'm like, it ain't even it's sentimental.
bro, so I stopped doing I used to okay, really think about this, what would my dad like, what my mom like, well, now I'm more become because I have so many siblings, I know because I don't really get, that many gifts from my parents, that it'll probably trickle down to them. Like the gifts they get will probably be whatever.
Yeah.
So I've taken that road to be let
me get you something.
You know what? I'm gonna get you this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be that guy. Get you this. Get you this.
dope.
Whatever. Within reason. Sometimes I go broke for them.
Yeah.
Where I'm I'll look at it okay, I'd rather, work to get this money back to make sure they are happy for this Christmas. And I'll deal with the repercussions. Be I never done it for my parents though. Where I'm gonna get this gift so I don't have money. No.
Yeah.
But for the kids, I'd be I can't really afford this, but you know what? I had the means of getting this back for this moment for them. Whatever, I'll do that. But yeah, it's, as you get older, it just becomes this, you make money.
Yeah, you're okay.
Yeah.
What?
What is
That's a very Caribbean thing.
Yeah,
That's a very Caribbean
you have money
thing.
now.
You have money now. So
you just lose gift? What?
that's not, what is the purpose of it?
it's very upsetting. But I will say this, as I've gotten older, I don't expect crazy gifts from people.
No, of course
right?
not.
I definitely don't. But I've become such a big fan of thoughtful gifts. So I joked about the gas card thing. But honestly, as an entrepreneur, someone that freelances and travels, I'm I think my mom got me $200 in gift cards last year.
Yeah.
And I was yo, this is crazy. I'm this is nuts. And I'm just I made that thing last. So things like that matter to me. You know?
I agree.
It's true.
So the other question, is Mariah Carey considered a legend with this song every single Christmas for the rest of time?
Yeah.
How is it not legendary?
I read today that she wrote that song in an hour. She wrote it in an hour.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Is she a legend for the end of time?
Yeah.
Because this song will play
Forever.
Yeah.
ever and ever and ever.
How is that
there's
not legendary?
no one can duplicate it to be another Christmas song. No.
Yeah.
Literally cannot go broke. That. How is that?
She gets royalties for life.
And not even, it's gonna be her family members that even when she's gone. This is something. I can't see a Christmas where this will not be the song.
And are you annoyed of it?
I'm not.
I'm not.
I'm not.
Her Christmas song, this is a hot take, but her Christmas song is literally on par with the Happy Birthday song.
The Black Happy Birthday song?
Either one.
Happy birthday.
In the sense that it'll never go away.
You mean just a song for Happy Birthday?
Yes. There's a song for Happy Birthday and someone has royalties over that.
That's the song.
Is there even though?
Yeah, someone has royalties over all
Happy
these
Birthday
songs.
to you, Happy Birthday.
Yeah. That's
really?
why when you go to a restaurant, you ever notice when they sing Happy Birthday, it's a different variation of it. They can't. They're not allowed to.
Rendition?
You're not allowed to sing the traditional one without paying rights to it.
Huh.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
You're not allowed to.
But could you imagine you're the person who came up let's just say I made an Easter song by accident.
Yeah.
Just something I thought was just frivolous.
That's
it was
the song.
harmless. And it catches on for the rest of time.
That's it.
That's the Easter song.
Live it.
Every April,
You're
I'm
living.
getting a check. Or
Live
if
it.
Mariah Carey has the Christmas song,
She
it's never
owns
going away.
Christmas.
It's never going away.
In every mall worldwide. It's incredible.
The funniest part to me is I see her on stage performing the song in current day, and she's not even trying. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All I want, and it's just because she
like,
knows
I'll still get this check.
I'm about to get this check.
There's no enthusiasm.
I can lip sync the whole thing.
Exactly, and it's just it's mine.
That's funny.
She must watch her bank account just go nuts.
Christmas season.
Just go crazy around Christmas
November
season.
26th.
It's like,
oh,
checks
what?
coming for the next 4 weeks.
How much do you think she's realistically making around this time of the year?
Yearly for Christmas?
Yearly for Christmas? How much do you think she's making?
if we're thinking
It's
like
been
if we're
disgusting.
thinking realistic, like spread of this song, it's on all YouTube stuff. It's on all like
Shopping centers.
malls,
Stores.
worldwide.
Yeah.
It's on Spotify, Apple, all that kind of stuff playing. It's in video games. It's in movies, soundtracks.
Yeah.
It's like just like it is so widespread. She's
making millions.
She literally. I could even get a real number, but it's easily $10 million
Every year.
every year.
For whatever
like a guaranteed.
for whatever reason,
That's,
I think it's
that's
more.
the bottom. That's
Yeah,
the
that's like a low guess too.
Base. Like, you can do nothing for the rest of your life and tell me $10 million is coming, and you're like, I wrote this song
in an hour.
In an hour.
years ago though. Like it's done.
That's like I saw a video of like Burna Boy saying he wrote like
Oh yeah, in the club.
in the club.
Did you hear about this?
Wait, 50 song?
Okay, so you know that song, Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Burna
yeah,
Boy.
yeah.
He's in a,
And which I mean, it sounds
It's
like
an
he
old,
made it in
it's
10
an old
minutes.
song though.
it's no, it is an old song.
yeah.
The way he made the song was he was in this club that was also like, it had a studio in the back and it had a restaurant as well. And he said he was gone. Like he was drunk out of his mind. And the guy who owns the club, who's his boy, came up to him and was like whispering in his ear. He's like, yo,
Hear this beat.
my producer's upstairs got this beat for you. And he's like, I don't want to hear it. Like, that's the last thing you want to hear, right? He's like, whatever, screw it. He goes up to the studio and he hears the beat for Yeah. And he's like, I wrote it in 25 minutes. He's like, I wrote the song in 25 minutes. They
Drunk.
mix it up, produce it, and that was it.
Wow.
And that's like one of the biggest songs this year.
Yeah.
He literally said that he spent more time listening to it back than how long he spent making the song.
Like the song's done. I just gotta perfect it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like,
But you know those ones,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Where you're like, I gotta run that back, run that back.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, and that's like that song's getting him paid too.
Yeah,
Like, you know what I
crazy.
mean? It's just like
Crazy money.
Actually, I had a question about you guys. So I was talking to somebody, and Afrobeats.
Yo, I was just
This
talking to
year,
I was just talking to Kwame about this yesterday.
this year, what happened? Because these songs aren't new songs. Let's say,
get busy.
Get Busy. That's exactly what I was thinking. Sean Paul. Let's say you're hearing Sean Paul.
A decade old.
You're saying in terms of like the style.
in terms of the style, in terms of some of the songs that like African people are hearing, they're like, I've been here. Like,
this is
like
old.
how is this
This
bumping
is
in the club
old.
today? Like,
Yeah.
there's people I talked to like, this is in the club now.
Yeah.
It's like what happened?
I have a theory
Yeah,
about
go
it.
ahead.
Because remember when there was like that resurgence of British music, like rap and
like UK, like grime stuff. Yeah.
a lot of like
Even the grime stuff was old.
grime,
Became, but
grime,
yeah.
grime is basically the original like trap music.
Right.
Because my older brothers were listening to that when we were like babies back in England, and a lot of the reason why that music became so big in North America is because they got a cosign from Drake, right? Like Drake was one of those people that was already listening to that music for years, but once he got to a high enough point in his career to go over there and be
the
like,
crossover.
yo, like, let me do some stuff with you guys, it became like a thing over here. So there were people like me where I was like, this isn't new. Like Skepta's like the Jay-Z of England in terms of how long he's been around.
He's been doing it for a
The
while.
Skepta guy.
So
they're like, what?
but then the other thing you have to remember too is like, for a lot of people that, North Americans, right? And I'm gonna talk specifically to people from Toronto that have never been to London. If you go to London, it's like very easy for people like us from here to like assimilate over there because the culture is the same.
Very
Like
similar, yeah.
we have a large Caribbean and African like diaspora, the same thing that's here versus America where it's like way more spread out. Like you don't hear of too many Jamaicans like popping in America the way that you do in Toronto.
Right. Sure.
So what was happening is right after the British wave popped off, like all the African artists, a lot of them were living in England because it's easier for them to live there as opposed to coming over to the States.
Right.
And their music started popping. And because we already had a connection to the British stuff over there, it just slowly started coming through. And you have to remember, we have a large African population here. Like, we're all what? Like, you Jamaican? All Jamaican, but I guarantee we all know like at least 10 African dudes that
of
we're
course.
tight with.
Yeah.
So our music is gonna cross over. Our backgrounds in terms of music as well is very similar. I think Jamaicans are like very close to Nigerian and Ghanaians already in terms of like
Cultures, yeah.
cultural stuff. So that stuff makes sense to me, like why it became so big, because it was only a matter of time.
Yeah.
Like once the British scene got their scene, like the African scene was next. Right. And quite frankly, whatever we do that's popping, like everyone else is gonna latch onto it. Right.
True.
It's weird. You go out places in Toronto now, and I went to a bar last week and I saw like white people listening to like Burna Boy and stuff like that. Like it was normal, and like real talk, like 3 years ago, that would not have been normal. You cannot let that stuff fly.
Yeah.
It's like it is what it is.
So we received a question about music and culture and lyrics and just the social economy of hip hop today. And obviously there's an ongoing discussion and it's never gonna really change anytime soon, I would say. And it's the use of the N-word in music, right? So artists, especially Black artists, African-American artists, it's a term of endearment when they're talking to other people of color, right? However, they infiltrate that type of stuff into their music as a widespread way of communicating and just expressing themselves through their music for their people, let's say. And I'm not saying they don't make music for other races or other cultures, but a lot of hip hop is made for the culture they're from, for the city they're from, and for the people that they're used to being around. But as you blow up and you become successful and famous, and your music spreads to much further cultures than just your city. Everyone wants to blow up in their city first. That's the whole point of music and this rap economy and musician economy, that you try and blow up first here. So you talk about stuff that people in your city care about. You talk about stuff that people in your culture care about. You try and connect to your culture first, and then expand. You're not like, I'm not making music for everybody. I'm making music for people that understand, people that understand my struggle. That's how your music starts. But when those type of songs blow up, you're like, oh wow, like I really made this for like just to kind of represent my people and to kind of like connect with them. But it actually is now being accepted worldwide. However, the lyrics that are in there aren't necessarily tailored for everyone to say, especially in the economy we have, which is very sensitive. So I've seen many times, I'm sure you've seen many times, you're in the club, there's certain songs with N-words in it, which a lot of them are right now. And I've caught myself sometimes just watching people just like, I'm just gonna wait to see if, and like I see some people like they'll slide over it, like they'll be sit, and my like, and they'll go through it. It's kind of like this awkward mood where you're like, I respect it, like I know what you're doing. And then some white people or other people from other colors, they just go and they're just saying it, and I used to get bothered by it, but now I'm kind of like, I don't know how, like, I don't know how to, because it's like they're singing the song based on what the lyrics are in the song. So it's like the lyrics that are in their music don't necessarily represent those cultures. However, if you fall in love with that music, are you now banned from saying the N-word in that music? Or is it just a lyric? Like from us, I've caught myself personally when I'm in the club or I'm out somewhere and there's an N-word in the track, I'm fine to saying it because obviously I'm Black, whatever. People around me that are Black are fine saying it, but if you see a white person, or someone else a different race saying that same, I've caught myself like looking at people to be like, are you gonna say it? And if they do say it, I'm not mad because I'm like, what do I expect them to do? Like, that's the lyric in the track. But at the same time, I'm just kind of like, are they just expected not to say it? Because it's kind of like, this is our track. like what is, go ahead.
So like, okay, so to give a little bit of background and clarity to it, it's because someone asked us about the Kendrick Lamar incident. That happened like earlier this year, it was a while ago, where he brings this girl on stage to rap the lyrics to one of his songs. There's this white girl, and then she says the N-word as part of it, and he's like, nah, you gotta go, right? So
setup thing.
It's like, like Roy said, it's basically like it was almost like a setup because it's like, what do you expect? Like, do you expect her to not say the lyrics? And I've been around here's the thing, like I've been around plenty of white people or people that aren't Black, when they're singing the lyrics to songs, they don't say the N-word, but I always know that when I'm not there, they're saying the N-word. Like, I know for a fact. So it's like, when they're not saying it, it's like, I kind of look at them like, I appreciate you for not saying it.
In this setting.
I appreciate you for considering it, because I know that is gonna be mad awkward if like you say it in front of me, and you and I aren't tight like that for that to happen, right? Because I'm quite sure there are scenarios with people where, like, I'm talking about like the hood, where it's like, there are white people who've grown up in the hood with Black people their entire lives.
You say the N-word every day.
You say that N-word like every day, and it's like normal.
And they give a pass.
And they get a pass for it, right? So, which is like wild for some people, because like, how is that even possible, right? So I was just saying before, like for me, the amount of like frustration or energy that goes into why can't I say it because it's part of the lyrics, for me it's like, it takes way less energy to just sing the lyrics and just omit the words.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And I think a lot of it comes, and this is kind of a hot take, right? But I think that it's actually kind of wild, but I think that people don't like the fact that Black people have such a monopoly on something that they can't have. Because so take this in, right? Like the fact that
it's an entitlement thing, like an ownership thing?
the fact that like as a Black person, I can literally say this word. I can say this word like in public to other people, like to other Black people, a part of songs as an endearment. I can say it, right? But the moment someone else says it, I can literally say, nah, you can't say that. Like you can't say that because you're not Black.
So is it like a lack of control?
Yeah,
I think it's almost like, you know, like when you have like a kid, like a child, and like you tell them, don't touch this. And you make them want to touch it even more because you now forbid it.
Right.
Like I think it's almost like that.
Yo, because think about it,
it has an allure.
What do you mean it's forbidden?
Yeah, it's allure, right?
Why not?
Like,
I want to. I should be able to do this.
Say a word.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
It's a word.
I know it sounds ridiculous, but given everything that's ever happened in society, like throughout the history of time, especially with Black people, now that I have this thing where I have this thing where I can say this and you can't. Now they're like, but why? But why can't I say this? And it's like, because you can't.
I have a question. So this may be very interesting now because I never actually thought about it in this sense. So there is a word that is used for homosexual people that starts with F.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
People just literally admitted this word now.
Yeah, they're like never say this word.
It's just like they've said, you don't say this word about these type of people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And everyone just kind of just went,
All right.
Bet.
I
didn't even take this into
bro, we literally just went,
nobody argues it.
no one argues it. There's another word. For people who are mentally challenged, there's an R word.
Yeah.
They just said, you don't do this anymore.
Yeah.
Guys, good?
Yeah.
Everyone just went,
Gotcha. No problem whatsoever.
no problem. Yeah, you're probably right. I shouldn't say that. Like it's nothing. Like no one fought it. Nobody.
Ryan, that relates to my point.
No, but I'm curious about this part because everyone massively says. So now you're saying, saying because we're like, we still can.
Yes,
it's kind of like
it relates to
what
my.
do you mean?
Yeah, it relates to my point because all those other words can
like
they reach like everyone. Right? You can be Black, white, Indian, Asian. Like you can be all those things, and all those words can affect everyone. But this one particular word is mine. Like it's literally mine if I want it to be. If I want it to be.
Yeah.
So when I tell you you can't say this, and my simple response as to why you can is just because you can't.
So question, do you think if we also were not allowed to say this word, people would be fine with this?
I think so.
Do you
because
think,
I don't see.
Do you think it's really just because you guys still are? Like,
yeah, I do. That's exactly it. It's like, why do you guys have this freedom still? Because you don't see one homosexual to another homosexual saying that F word. You don't see one special person to another special person saying that R word. But we're out here saying like, yo, you're mine. And they're like, why do they have this freedom still? And the thing is too, like you're saying with the whole Kendrick situation, it's like, if you're not allowed to say this word at all, why should you get the pass just because it's in a song now? Like in regular conversation, you shouldn't say this word. So why just because it's in a song now, we got a beat behind the word, why should you get the pass to say it?
Listen.
There's a beat now. Okay.
I'm in like a, what? I was in like a very, I am in a unique position because my partner is a white girl, right? So, dog, like I'll be upfront right now. When I started dating Jay, there was never a time where she said the N-word about me, right? But like, when I started hanging out with her and over time, like
it slipped.
No, it's never slipped. It's never slipped.
Over time.
It's never slipped. But here's the thing, right? She's younger than me, and she knows the lyrics to like any rap song from the 90s, like any Biggie track, she knows the lyrics to all of them. You expect me to believe that like she's never said this when I'm not around, before I ever met her? Like, come on.
In the dark, it comes out.
Like, I know that. So my thing is like, look, as I said before, I'm not ignorant to the fact that people are saying this when I'm not around. Am I gonna get mad at them? No, because it's in the lyrics. Just don't say it. Just don't put yourself in this position where I have to say something to you about it. You know what I mean? Because it's not comfortable for anyone. It's really not. So just don't say it.
So I think the consensus, the argument is these words are necessarily understood and accepted to be prohibited if it's a widespread thing. But I think the difficulty with other races not saying this or saying or not saying is because it's just that people just don't like anyone having more power. Where it's like, why do you still get to? It's like when parents say, do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah.
It's like, we mean I can't do that. You're doing this right now. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, but you can't. What? Like, right? So it's just, people just like, okay, if I can do it, you can't do it. That's just, but that isn't life.
Yeah.
That's not capitalism. That's not life. This is the only thing that people just really refuse to accept.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
But speaking of like hot takes, I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Because I was playing this game the other day with my girl. It's like a box with 100 questions in it, different things, right? And one of them was, what's something that you believe in? Like you truly are like, I believe in this theory or I believe in it, that could be considered crazy to everyone else. Something that you believe in truthfully.
Like a theory?
It could be a theory, it could be anything in the world. You're just like, I believe in this, even if no one else wants to co-sign me on it.
I know I have some. You put me on the spot.
Like I used to like.
What's an example?
What was yours?
Yeah.
Like I have two, but I'll tell you one like that I used to think. I used to think like traffic. I used to think traffic was like manufactured. Like made no sense.
I still believe that.
But you know what I mean? Because like, if everyone's moving, like
yeah.
And I used to think
go.
it was like a ploy for the government to be like, more people need to spend money on gas.
Or to go on the 407.
You mean like
Sure.
conspiracy theory stuff?
No, it could be anything. It could be anything.
I believe that 9/11 was by the government. If that's that's
Like you're willing to die on this hill.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've watched enough like
Zeitgeist.
yeah.
That wasn't the plan.
Yeah,
Like,
100%.
You brought the
Pancake
building.
theory, I get it.
What do you think? Because I'll tell you mine after. You guys will look at me weird.
It's pretty morbid, but I'm strong with the cancer thing.
Yeah.
Like, because I have friends and family who died from cancer. So I truly believe, like, the cure's out there and they refuse to put it out.
Yeah.
I believe
Because
that,
they need people to die. Like, they need,
Not only that,
no,
the
they
revenue,
need chemo to happen. They need it.
true.
There's so much they've already spent on these machines worldwide that if it's just cured, what do I do with this?
Yeah.
Now we lose all this money. Like, no, like we need to keep using these machines. We need to make them think they're beating this long enough so they can keep, like, chemo is thousands and thousands of dollars for that procedure.
Thousands is
Thousands and
millions.
thousands from each person. Like each person.
yeah.
Every type of anytime they go for treatment, like it's nonstop.
Yeah.
So if they just cured it, one, all these patients are now cured.
Yeah.
Two, all this equipment and money they've spent is all done. Three, all this cancer research. There's people who have jobs for cancer research.
Exactly.
It's a job.
Yeah.
Cancer, just researching every day.
Yeah.
Cancer research. Like, you know, it's a job.
Yo,
Just
but
cancer
this is why I
research.
believe
And you know what though? To that point, I think it's so high up that the people who are doing the cancer research, I don't even think they know that they're being.
No, they're just like, this is my job.
This is
Yeah,
my
just-
job. Yeah.
But even if I'm a cancer researcher, and this is why I believe that your theory is correct too. Like, there's no way I've been researching
That
something
long.
and I don't have any
Nothing. Yeah.
any new finds, any new findings. No,
Every day you come in?
nothing that's even slightly worked.
Royce, you clock in every morning cancer research?
What did I find
For
today?
years?
Yeah.
What did I do
For
today?
years. Come on.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
So
to me.
it upsets me personally because I have a personal tie to it.
Yeah, I feel
But
you.
it's like cancer research as a job. Like,
if I've been doing this since 1986, it is
But
now
you know what, like,
2019, I have
no
nothing
one-
new. Nothing. We've made no progress.
I think there have been like things that have shown us that because to your point, like if you have the money, I truly feel like if you have the money,
your
you
cancer's
can,
gone.
You can survive a lot of things
cancer-
and prime example who I think of, Matt Johnson.
Yeah.
No,
Matt Johnson.
Matt Johnson. Right? Like I
What do you mean-
understand.
what do you mean
blessed.
it's gone?
Yeah, because
blessed.
I understand now at this time, like that we live in.
Yeah.
The medication is like there to help people survive it, like way longer than they could back then.
Wait.
But this dude had it back then.
Yeah. Time.
You know?
yeah,
Man had AIDS.
wild.
Okay.
That's
you have
supposed to be
AIDS,
like
but
your-
you're still good.
Your day should be numbered at that point.
Yeah.
In a
Number.
sense,
The
so.
man's been living good.
My entire life.
Good.
I think he was diagnosed when I was born, if I'm not mistaken.
Probably.
And-
And that's another thing. Like the money makes things appear. Oh yeah, we got the cure for you, Magic. It's like ain't that a little envelope just shipped to your house? Like
Amazon. There you go.
Anyways, but
But
yeah.
the thing is too, like I feel like if you can, I guess they're calling it not a cure, but they're saying we can contain it and
Maintain,
If
yeah.
you can do that much in 2001,
Right.
it's 2009, 18 years later, you haven't found a way to
Nothing.
take that to another level
To
and just
duplicate that,
completely
nothing.
demolish
They don't
whatever.
want to.
Yeah.
Exactly. You have it. You have it.
They don't want to.
If this show somehow gets shut down after this episode, you know exactly that theory. You
Yo.
just put it on blast.
Bruh. Don't like ISIS or whoever.
I also believe in aliens as well, like, or some form of.
I believe that's okay. You want
This is where we're going with this.
you want to
aliens.
hear my
Is this where the show's going?
you want to hear my crazy take?
What?
no matter how many times I say it, I know that it sounds crazy, but I truthfully believe it, and I'm ready for you guys to flame me.
I'm so giddy for this.
But basically, I think that Sam Smith and Adele are the same person.
You don't actually stop.
No, so hold on.
Now you're being silly.
No, hold on, Ryan, hear me out. Ryan, just hear me out, right?
I'm
As my boy, just listen to me.
Genuinely listening.
Okay.
Etobicoke to hear this.
So listen. Those two artists in particular, right? Be honest, in the past decade, have they not put out some of the biggest tracks?
You're being a troll.
No, hold on. If you think, look, I guarantee, Ryan, if you pull out your phone right now and Google this, I'm not the one thing.
I know what you're saying, but
but hold on.
deep down in the soul believe this.
Tell me something right now. How is it possible in the past decade, literally that no one has ever seen them both together in the same place, and they never both put out big tracks at the same time? They've both taken hiatuses. One takes one, the other one pops up. When one goes, the other one pops up. When one lost weight, the other one came back, lost weight.
You think this is a Peter Parker Spider-Man thing? What do you
Yo, tell me why I'm wrong. Tell me why I'm wrong. Tell me why I'm wrong.
I know you're being funny.
I'm not being funny. That's the thing. I believe this. Yo, put the camera, put the camera on my face. I believe this. Tell me why I'm wrong. Tell me why I'm wrong.
You can't actually.
Tell me why I'm wrong.
Listen, do you have any questions for us?
Tell me why I'm wrong.
This has been
See, this is what
we're gonna talk.
No, this is why mans can't be open nowadays, because your boy just shuts you down. Tell me why I'm wrong.
Okay.
Tell me why I'm wrong.
You're hitting my mic. Okay, bring the love down for 1 second. And I'm gonna ask you one time. I'm gonna ask you one time. Deep down to your core, do you think Sam Smith and Adele are genuinely the same human being?
The same person?
Deep down to your core. Like one is a male, one is a female. And they are genuinely the same human being splitting the same atoms.
Yeah, exactly.
Splitting the same atoms.
I think if you told me that it was all makeup and everything, I believe that. I would genuinely believe that. Would not shock me. That would not shock me.
I'll see you guys later.
Let's clock out.
That wouldn't shock me. You tell me that would shock you. You'd be shocked if you found out that literally we've seen a lot more crazy things. You'd be shocked. You actually be shocked? Honestly.
Have you seen crazier things? What is?
Yeah, we have.
You speak of.
Dog, I've seen Trump become president.
Okay,
let's be real.
Fair enough.
No.
That's pretty good.
I'm not. No, deep down in my core, I'm not saying that they're literally the same person. But I would not be surprised if they had something going on.
Some game.
No, seriously. How is that possible? How is it possible that those two have never been popping at the exact same time? In a decade, it makes no sense. And they're both the biggest white artists of the past decade, some of them, aside Taylor Swift. How does that make sense?
So Skepta's dating Sam Smith.
Okay.
This is crazy.
You're
shaking the table.
This is crazy.
Look, I guarantee if anyone's watching this right now and they Googled what I said, there's thousands of people who legit think what's going on? How these two never pop in? How they never put out a song together? Adele and Sam Smith.
They just don't want to.
Yeah,
no, come on.
You have to realize also there's music is pre-recorded and stuff as well too. Maybe the songs didn't come out at the same time. You can't say they've never made music at the same time.
Why are you even trying to make points?
I don't know why.
You know why he's trying to make points? It's because a tiny part in his brain is yo, watch. He's gonna hit me up later on when he's on YouTube.
I will Google it. I will go YouTube conspiracy theory with Sam Smith and Adele. However, this reminds me of, have you seen the Avril Lavigne conspiracy theory where it's a fan of hers killed her and then took her spot or something like that?
No, that's wild. I never heard that.
But I was this is wild. But I read the entire Twitter thread.
Yeah.
And it made sense.
It made sense.
Anything can make sense if you add theory to it.
Look, yeah, that's true. Look, anything can, but you also have to give, in any scientific thing, you have to provide something to disprove the theory. So when I say things tell me why I'm wrong, I'll wait. I'll wait till you guys tell me why I'm wrong.
I hate that thing. I want you to tell me why you're right.
I can prove that I'm right because...
Prove? That's not proof. You just found some coincidences where they didn't have music at the same time.
Okay, how come they've never both been at award shows at the same time?
They don't care.
What do you mean they don't care? These two artists are always showed up to take their awards. Are you crazy? They've both never been there at the same time.
Are you sure about this? You're 100%?
Google it later, because I don't have the receipts right now, but the receipts are there.
But
you're all about the facts, right?
I do believe that there is, maybe they haven't, because like I don't think you would have gone this hard for this right now
if I didn't look into it.
If there was ever an award show where they were there together, at the same time.
They weren't.
I'm going to Google
the way that you listen to Avril Lavigne thing, I'm telling you. Anyway, Royce.
I'm so bad. You can't say anyway. We can't just
anyway. No, we're just gonna keep moving. Royce, do you have any questions for us?
For you guys?
Yeah.
This is your third time on the show?
This is my third
time
time
on the show. First time on the set.
Every time's been a different set too. I've always
It has been.
every level up.
It has.
I like that.
It has. You've experienced the come up.
I'm dying because I know for a fact that people watching us recording on the screen right now are like, yo, this guy's crazy.
Out of his mind.
Out of his mind.
Out of his mind.
I still
He's
haven't
out of his
recovered.
mind.
Out of his
Anyway,
mind.
Go on, sorry.
Actually, I do, because you asked me in the beginning of this episode, what are you guys' New Year's resolutions?
Ooh.
Y'all thought y'all weren't ready, huh?
I am.
You go first. I haven't really thought about it.
Are you first of all, are you guys someone who feels like, okay, January 1st, that's when I make the change? Or like, if you thought of this in November, you're gonna start from then?
I've never thought of it like New Year, like
Yeah,
me.
I agree. Yeah,
I just roll into next year. I've already started prepping stuff now to roll into the year.
Is that like tangible stuff, or like I'm saying like a self-reflective goal of some sort? Like you want to make yourself a better person of some sort. Like I'm gonna start biting my nails.
Yeah.
No, I've never made like this year I'm changing. Like I've never had a moment where I'm like, I need to change this year. I'm more of a, whatever I acknowledge at that time, I'll make the change from that moment. So if it starts in October, and I just roll in, like, okay, like from now moving forward. As for specific New Year resolutions, I think I'm setting mine up to kind of align with my time quitting my job. So like, I quit my job February last year,
I feel like it was longer than that.
Nah, February last year. So not this February, February last year.
Oh, 2018.
18.
Okay.
So I'll call that the start of the year. So I'm kind of basing things like, what do I want to do differently this fiscal entrepreneur year, right? Rather than like a New Year resolution, just like, okay, no, this is year 3. What is your plan for year 3? I'm a numbers person, so I'm like, okay, year 2 is done. This is what you liked, what you didn't like, whatever. What's your plan for year 3? It's not, I don't have it like a new year. It's more just like new work year. Like what you want to do this time? Like first year you did, a lot of different things in terms of like some traveling here and there. You picked up different shoots from different people. You kind of tried everything because it's your first time working for yourself. So you're kind of just taking whatever. Second year, you kind of tailored yourself a little bit more. Like, okay, I'm not gonna do this as much. I'll bring some smaller stuff. I'll kind of work with some of my friends here and there. I'll give some people some discounts. I'll do this. Kind of like balance it a little bit more. Year 3, based on my time and what I struggled with this year in terms of my time management, my rest, health, all that kind of stuff. I'm like, year 3, you don't take that anymore. Like you can't. Like when you tried, you crumbled because it put you in a place where you're like, you're stuck. You overworked yourself. You didn't really get to enjoy your breaks when you took your breaks. When you travel, you didn't really get to really travel. You're still kind of working on stuff. Your mind's still kind of back in the city. Like, so I'm literally looking each year like what worked, what didn't work, what did you like, what didn't you like. So it's year 3 of work plans, So like those are kind of my plans, like just working on my health more, working on my decision making, working on, prioritizing what is actually better for use of my time versus just taking something because, it's money. Like money, like you're gonna make money. It's more just like you can't just take all the money. It doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
Like
you have to balance.
Sometimes even the money, even taking the money is actually, it sounds cliche to someone who doesn't really make money, for example, they may be like, what are you talking about? But sometimes taking money is actually hindering. Taking a certain job, whether they're giving you money, but taking that is actually ruining you, which is hard to explain to someone who doesn't make money. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you have more money. It's like, but you taking that money you're trading something has dropped your health, has dropped your time. You can't see family, you can't have fun. You're like, okay, you took that money, but you spent more like personal money in terms of like your own health than the money you actually received to benefit you. So
worth it all the time.
I have a lot of reflecting like that for next year for me.
I think that makes sense for you too. Like you're saying, like you started from like February, that first February, and it's just like because I noticed with you more so than a lot more other, I guess, like socialites, I guess, in the city, like you are a business, you know what I mean? And that's how businesses do their accounting and all that stuff. It's like it's fiscal year. So it's like from July to July. Because you have to treat it as such too because you are a business and you're an entrepreneur, and that's exactly how it is kind of pushed as well. What about you?
Well, yeah, like I've never really been the type of person where January rolls around, new things change. But if I was just to think of something I did say to myself, it was that I think this year, like I said, I want to travel to at least 5 different countries that I've never been to.
Okay.
Right? Like that's like a kind of like a throwaway New Year's thing for me, where it's like, okay, in between January and December of 2020, I have to get these 5 countries like off my list.
Do you have any like? I know you said 5, but like, do you have like what's one of the 5?
Japan is gonna go. I have Japan, Peru, Colombia, Ghana or Nigeria, and then probably Germany.
Which one of the 5 is the one you're most looking forward to?
Japan.
Japan, yeah, easily. I would say that.
Yeah, Japan, 100%. Like I've never heard anyone go there
with the bad experience
and have a bad experience.
Yeah.
Right?
Just their infrastructure, their technology is just.
Yeah.
And the other crazy thing too is I've even heard from I follow this organization called Travel Noir.
I do too.
Yeah, Travel Noir.
Yeah.
You've heard of Travel Noir? It's like a kind of like a travel agency and also like a travel blog geared towards Black people, right? And I was talking to the guy who runs it, and he went to Japan, and he was saying that unlike a lot of other Asian countries where they're not used to seeing Black people at all, he's like, if you go to China, for example, as a Black person, like the way people react to you and say certain things, it almost has like a racist undertone to it. But he's like, in Japan, they're like genuinely very curious to know about your culture. Because it's weird, like Japan has like, you know how like every culture has like weird things that they're into? In Japan, like they literally have a scene where people are like heavy into dancehall and like Jamaican music. I know that sounds crazy. So I wouldn't go to Japan to go witness that. Like that's not what I would go there for.
Yeah, exactly, but like, it's kind of cool while you're there.
It was weird because so like Japanese people, they're just like, yo, I really like this thing, so I'm gonna put all my focus into it to make sure that like I like it and represent it in the way.
Exactly.
So from an outside perspective, it looks kind of like they're like being disrespectful, but they're just like, no, like we really like this, so we're willing to learn like everything about it.
It's true.
But if I went to Japan, I'd be like, oh, cool. Like I'm into technology. I'm into like all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm done martial arts and boxing my whole life, so it's like
That would be,
I want to go there to this place, right? So that's my main thing for the New Year's. Like I need to travel the most that I can. And then probably similar to what Ryan was saying about like workload and taking time for yourself, that's probably like a bigger thing where it's just like making sure I
find that balance.
Yeah, find that balance and just take time to just be like, I'm not gonna take that job today. I'm gonna go do this instead. Something that I like. Which I think most people, even if you're not freelancers like us, I feel like that's something that they should make the distinction between the two.
Is this really something that I need to indulge versus like having that personal time for myself?
Yeah, like, because I feel like if you can make that distinction, you'll thank yourself for saying, like, let me say no to this job for like a hot minute and do this instead. You'll be happy in the long run, especially if you're in a relationship, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it's a big thing.
I agree.
Which reminds me, the last thing I wanted to ask you is like about the whole house situation.
Yeah.
Right? You just bought the house? Like,
It was a pre-construction. So I had paid for the house. Like I put my down payment for the house, which was about 7% of the actual cost of it. In July of 2018, then they started making the house, and then you do all the closing, all that stuff, and the mortgage application stuff. That I did that in October.
Yeah.
So it was just the waiting process from the July of 2018 to this current October. So I closed now. So now the house is actually mine. Because when you put down the down payment, it's not really yours yet in a sense, because you still have all those other stuff to do that kind of make it yours.
Yeah.
So that I finished in October.
was it stressful?
Bro, it was stressful. Is not even the word. It was wild because I also did it by myself. So it's like applying for the mortgage and actually qualifying for it was a lot harder because I wasn't having, I'm not a dual income, or I'm not like, I don't have this really high personal income myself even. And I don't have any personal assets from prior to like kind of hold collateral over. So
they're just like, why do we trust you?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
That's exactly what it is. It's like the bank, you have to convince the bank like, okay,
I'm good for it.
I'm good for this. You know what I mean? So it was pulling strings. There was a whole lot of back and forth and providing a whole lot of stuff. So honestly, it's
man. I think a lot of people were really happy to see that. But I think I think when I first saw the post, I was like, yo, this guy finessed everyone. I really said this because I was like, this guy's whole branding was about being cheap. And then I was like, now it makes sense.
Exactly. Like,
I was
I'm
like,
cheap to
cheap
see
for a purpose.
Dog, I
Exactly.
felt like deceived when I saw
You're
the
not the
post.
first person to say that.
I generally did. Like, here's the thing. I never looked at you as a cheap person. Like, I never looked at you and was like, yo, this dude's cheap. I saw the way you dress. Like, I know what's good. I'm
Yeah.
like, but I knew that you were
Frugal.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you're smart with your money.
exactly.
But I was like, what's he really doing with his money? Then I saw you bought a house, and I'm
Yeah.
like, that's it.
I think that's
Makes sense. This guy played the long play. I was like, this makes sense.
And that's exactly what it is too. 'Cause I'm like, I think like I'm not just cheap for no reason. Like I'm just being smarter with the money that I do have and using it more effectively. And that's really like with my YouTube channel out now, I have like a financial literacy segment that I'm trying to incorporate into it. And I'm just trying to like help show people and like let people know like you can like do this and as well as have like a bigger picture to things as well, because I'm not just out here like, okay, I'm not tipping just to not tip and be disrespectful. Like I just feel like, okay, you know what? If I'm going to tip or whatever the case may be, like I want it to be something with significance. You know what I mean? Like I'm putting my money to where I feel like it's more useful and I'm acting accordingly within my means. You know what I mean? So it's just, you can be cheap and still live a lifestyle that, you know, I feel like you probably want to work towards, or you can live a lifestyle that you feel like it doesn't show like, okay, I'm cheap, I'm broke. Like, you know what I mean? Like being cheap and being broke is not the same thing.
Two different things.
Exactly.
Cool.
I agree. Yeah.
I had one more question for you guys.
Yeah.
I wanted you guys to kind of give a resolution to each other.
Presents to each other.
Yeah.
Oh, but that was easy. For me, I would tell this guy to like actually rest. Like,
I would tell them the same thing still.
I was easy because I saw that for him like this more so like in the second half of the year. I was like, this guy's doing a lot, right? And it's not, which wasn't uncommon for me to see from Ryan, but it only ever became a problem for me when I could see like how tired he was getting, right? Like his work never suffered for me. Like none of that ever happened.
Yeah.
But I was just concerned. I was like, yo, like you gotta chill or like go play some ball or something. Like you gotta relax. Cause because my thing is, you know,
Longevity.
yeah, it's longevity. And like if I'm being real, you know, like after my brother passed, I started thinking a lot more about other people and like not just their mental, like their mental and physical health. Like what are you guys doing? Like how are you like recovering? So I never had this feeling with Ryan where I was really concerned for his like well-being and like life and all that type of stuff. But when I heard Ryan telling me like, yo, I'm washed or I'm like tired, those are things that like I typically didn't hear from him. So when I heard it, I was like, okay, he recognizes this problem, and I saw you already do things to like correct it, right? Like you'll post like the stuff on IG where you like balance and all that type of stuff, which is good. But so I think he already knows going to the new year that's the main thing.
For Zamora, I would say stop caring what people think. I think Zamora is very talented, very creative.
I agree.
I feel like if he had my type of like confidence in himself, like he'd be untouched. In terms like, I do what the fuck. I do.
I thought I was going to slip to that.
I do what the hell I want to do on social media and in person with people. Just I'm very outgoing in terms of in that way.
Unfiltered.
I'm very unfiltered, but it works for me in certain aspects. But I mean for him in his work, like his personality is gonna be the same. That's fine. But I think for his work, like when he does put stuff out, it's like this is good. Like do more. It's like do more. Like nobody cares. Like no one's like you're posting too much. Or, like and if anything, they're like post more. Like so it's like I would just say like
Do more,
bro, like there's so much work you still do that like people don't see. You're kind of like, oh, it's okay. Or like it's like put it out there because it's especially being in this space. It's like you don't know what that thing you think is all right is gonna get you, right? Like someone's like, this is exactly what I want, like, and you're like, really? Like that was it? Yeah, and like, no, do more of that for 10 racks. You're like, okay, but you just didn't put it out. You're sitting on 10 racks that potentially could come in your pocket because you think it's
I feel you.
And it might not even be like hard for you. Like I know, like for me personally, like I remember I first followed you because you got your drone and you kept doing these like over the city shots,
like
and you do them
top down, the flat.
and like you'd zoom in and zoom out, and I'm like, this is fire. And I don't see them as much anymore. But you still do them, and I'm just like, bro, like this, like the thing is like I don't see anybody else doing it. And like it's simplistic, but it's still like really
it's weird that you guys are saying, like, I appreciate that because I was at this Christmas party the other day, and this guy was just like, my boy Kwame that works for Nike. He was just like, yo, you're like the drone guy, you know? He's like you're that guy. Like most of us here know that like if we need something like that, we just go to you. We don't even think of anyone else.
I agree.
But it's weird because for me, it's so like matter of fact, like second nature in my head. I just do it knowing that like, yo, a lot of other people can do this if they just learn how to do it. So I don't think of it as something that crazy, which goes into Ryan's point where that's my mentality that I need. I should fix.
Yeah.
I will fix. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna fix that.
I'm waiting for it.
Coming up, you know. So that's my main thing. I appreciate that.
That's
though.
it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Thank you guys for dropping by. We'll see you in 2020. See you.
Peace.
Hello?
We need to talk.
We need to talk. We need to talk.
We need to talk.
We need to talk.